it's not just me.
Exactly. And just for example, and I know you wanted to talk about him as well, like covering Jalen Hurts this year.
Yeah, let's go. That was my next question.
Yeah, and it was really an experience because if you know his story, where he came from, the being best in Alabama and then trying to, reinvent himself to get drafted, at OU.
I'm still upset about that, but I mean, that's because he went to.
Exactly, that's right. Because you're a Ohio State guy.
No, right? Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State.
Yeah, and the messed up part is we almost beat them that year. It was an overtime game too.
That's right. It was Brock Purdy, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah.
There you go. Exactly. Because during the championship game that week and everything, I didn't even realize Brock Purdy went to Iowa State.
Yeah.
And they were showing highlights of that game. I was like, oh man, they was getting it on. I don't even remember that game.
Yeah.
I do remember Jalen at Oklahoma and everything because, he was really fun to watch and everything. And I didn't know that he went toe to toe with, Cyclones and everything. And I know Iowa State always.
The XFL was his receiver, Hakeem Butler.
Oh, that's right. That
was his receiver. And then old boy from the Jets was the running back.
What's his name?
Rock. What is his name?
Yeah, it escapes me now.
Hold on.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I can't think of his.
Breece Hall, man, that's my boy, Breece Hall.
There you go.
Breece Hall was the running back, so they all was together.
There you go. Yes. So yeah, they were showing that game and everything. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go back and look at this game, and I did. I found it and everything. I was like, oh man, he's going toe to toe. Yeah, it was a classic Big 12 game.
Yeah. We ended up going to the Fiesta Bowl that year.
Yes. So anyway, just covering Jalen Hurts was just, I could almost, maybe I will, maybe I'll write a book on it or something like that. That's another thing that I'm thinking about too, writing a book or two. But the whole thing about Jalen Hurts, I'm coming out of Oklahoma, the night he was drafted, when I tell you the night he was drafted, you go back and look at some of those videos and some of the reactions when he was drafted in the second round. They already had a franchise quarterback, Carson Wentz, who they gave a ton of money to. And, Carson didn't take that well, all because Jalen Hurts just exuded confidence from the day he stepped in that facility. He exuded confidence and he won the locker room right from literally the day he walked in the door. And Carson Wentz was done at that point. So
really? So that could you see that then that he was done?
Yeah, even though I wasn't in, I wasn't on the inside, covering the team and everything. Just all the reports just kind of led to that. And then the more I learned about Jalen Hurts, the more sense that it made. Just the way he was groomed, all those things. I said, oh yeah, he's gonna end up playing, because Carson Wentz was so bad, and he allowed that to affect. Injury prone. Well, that's why they drafted Jalen Hurts, because of insurance. I mean, they didn't necessarily intend him to be the starting quarterback going forward, but it was just insurance. But Carson Wentz reacted to it so bad, and that just opened up the floodgates for Jalen Hurts, and he took it by the reins, and he just needed time and everything to improve. As you've seen him in college, to just kind of improve himself and getting used to the NFL game, because he had the talent and everything. I hate that word, intangibles, but he had different talent and everything to kind of see himself through, but getting the maturity and the reps and the time and everything. But during that time, it was just the coverage of him was just so nasty, as far as him being a bridge, him not being able to read defense. Like, you hear the same old, can I cuss on here? Like, you hear the same old shit that you hear about black quarterbacks for the last 30 years and everything. Going back to Randall Cunningham, where it was even nasty then with Randall Cunningham. Can't read defenses, can't look defensive backs, all that shit, man. It was nasty effing work. And that even motivated me more to be in that space to cover him and saying that, okay, this guy, it was just something different about him. And just most of the media here in the city just did not want to see it. Either they were listening to other people where, just through the stereotypes. But again, this is where representation matters. Representation matters to kind of see, you know, what a player's build is. Like they totally missed the mark on how this young man was built to play football, how he was built. You know, they say, oh yeah, well, he's a leader and all that stuff, but can he play? They didn't think that he could play. But they missed the mark on his leadership leading into his play. His leadership, how he was groomed by Nick Saban, how he was groomed by Lincoln Riley to play quarterback in the NFL. And again, you know, just trying to stymie all of those other stereotypes. And mind you, Eagles have had black quarterbacks over time. They had Randall, they had McNabb, they had Vic and everything. And they did the same old things just over and over and over.
So how is this so different with Jalen? With this, so those same people that were like naysaying him, did it change now since he went to the Super Bowl? Is it now, or is the kind of, are people chirping his less? So they, oh, that's my boy, like where everything kind of like changed?
That's pretty much what it. Oh, that's my boy. You know, well, yeah, you know, he's a man. Like, oh, they're just still, a lot of them just still flabbergasted. And then you have others. They say, oh, yeah, it's just 1 year. You know,
flash in the pan.
Yeah, what's going to happen now that he has the money and everything? Oh, is there going to be more pressure on him now that he's the franchise quarterback, someone who they never thought he would be?
Yeah.
So that, oh yeah, now they're giving him even more.
And he also did Lamar Jackson a favor too.
Right.
Like he did Lamar Jackson a favor. He got the ball rolling. Well, I mean, I guess Deshaun Watson really got everybody rolling because with his thing of saying like this is the amount.
Yeah, this kind of sets the market now, and kind of like, you know, I love Lamar and everything. Don't get me wrong, but you know, he should give Nicole Lena a call because she gonna get it done for him.
And that's the thing. Maybe now that'd be a gangster move. Does she pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Lamar, I know you're your own agent. I know you and your mom do everything together.
Yep.
Let me come in as a consultant. I don't only take like 2%. Let me come in and help."
Mom need to talk to Nicole.
As a consultant, this guy ain't gonna be on the books for nobody to even know. It could be low key. Like
maybe Jalen talking to him. So, you know what I mean? So
and it was so dope is his whole team is women, like black women too. Whole team, which is super dope.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's very calculated, it's very intentional, and all and everything. And you know, and it's hard to talk to Jalen. And another reason why I'm in this space, because even today with the press conference where he talked about his big contract, a lot of people still don't know what to ask him. He does talk in a lot of cliches and everything like that. I get it. A lot of that is just him being guarded and all and being groomed well by, you know, Alabama and everything, you know. But
you take the bus, you get there.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to know what to ask him. And I basically just, you know, I guess I'll give it away. I just basically asked him about football. You know, if you ask about football, he won't give you a longer answer. And it's not going to be in cliches for the most part. Like after the championship game, he's like, oh, yeah, you know, how you feel about the Super Bowl? Whenever, you know, get into the Super Bowl, all that kind of stuff. Yo, what was San Francisco trying to do to y'all defensively, man? So
see, that's why I couldn't do it. I'd be like, when you go to Magic City, you get the lemon pepper wings? Like, that'd be like,
well, that's something that I'm working on because
like, I'm just saying, but that's a great. It'd be like a small thing, like the hood would know.
Right, exactly. And then again, it's really difficult to ask those questions in those spaces and everything, and not so much because people around me. I don't necessarily give a shit about you know the colleagues and people and everything.
They don't even know Magic City.
I'm just trying to be respectful to Eagles PR and everything. So
I interviewed Barack Obama for one question. So I was on Jimmy Kimmel. It never came out during the pandemic.
Really?
And I'll send you the link of the woman that got on. She cried so long. They like for me and Barack on it because basically it was a group of us and we were all talking about Barack's book when his book dropped. And Barack just comes in the Zoom. That was the whole thing. Wow. He just jumps in the middle of the Zoom. And then you could go in and ask him your own question on your own for like 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
So one woman cried so long that it only got edited down to like, it was only her. She was the only one that got on TV. But I asked Barack, if you were in a back alley fight and you were walking by yourself and you could choose 2 people, who you choosing? And you got 3 big dudes going to fight you, who you choosing? he started bugging up. Like he literally kept laughing. I was like, yeah, who you gonna put up? And I was like, you can't use Secret Service people. These are other random people. So he picked some other guy that used to be a Secret Service guy. I forgot his name. And he said Anthony Mason was the other one.
Wow. So
That
that's how you know he's a basketball guy, right?
Yeah.
Brock is forever basketball guy. Yep. So
and he was like, he's like, and I think we'd be okay in this back alley fight.
There you go. He knew.
He knew. But those are the questions like that kind of warm people up and like, oh man, you asked about Magic City on Little Pepper Wings. Like,
yeah, exactly. So like different things, like, you know, nobody knows. Here's a perfect example. And one of my colleagues who works for the Philadelphia Inquirer, which is like the major newspaper here in Philadelphia.
That's where Stephen A. came from, right?
Yeah, right. His name is OJ Smith. He's actually one of the black beat writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer. And Jalen's first year as a starter, after a game, he had on a purple suit, and he had on like a vest suit, right? And it was a purple suit because he loves the word purple because he's a Q, right?
Q, that's what I was going to say, though. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and on the back of the vest, it had the Greek letters that you could tell he was a Q, right? So everybody was like, you know, Prince, Purple Rain, everything like that, all captions, stuff like that. And here's another story too. I'm gonna tell you a second. Yeah, so Prince, Purple Rain, all that jazz, and nobody had any idea what the Greek letters were for, Mega Phi Psi.
The symbol that Prince used to have.
So, but EJ, he sees it and he tweets it. He tweets it, takes a photo, and then he says, okay, you know, Jalen Hurts wearing his, Omega Phi Psi colors, his vest and everything.